Good evening, YouTube. You guys are now watching another segment of the Cali Effect. You have requested and requested and requested this, so the Cali Effect will be playing Odd Eyes Magician. Now, I love this deck. This deck is really awesome, mainly because I can now play Magic Specters efficiently, and the deck makes a lot of really good plays. If you guys were ever interested in playing, I don't know, Magicians, Magic Specters, and like all of the other cool Pendulum monsters without playing Pepe, this is probably the deck for you. As you guys can see, this time around, I'm going to dead hand. I'm going to start off with the Magic Spectre from Buku, and then the back row was a Foolish Burial, and you know, my logic behind it was obviously, okay, if I summon Magic Spectre from Buku instead of back row, he's going to think that I'm going to tribute it off for a Tempest or something, so he's going to be wary of it, which followed with the Twin Twisters, and it kind of worked out a little bit. The Maxi obviously didn't work well, but that Sky Iris making dead hands better since 1996. Now, it's obviously that I'm not going to go off under Maxi. I'm just going to activate the Odd Eyes Pendulum in my turn and at the monkey board. And yes, this deck still does play Pepe counterparts. You play 4, because those 4, I promise you, make the deck go really, really, really boom. I don't even know how else to say this. The best thing about this deck, or this duel I wanted to show you, is that even when you do dead hand, quote unquote, this deck has a lot of searchability and allows you to go into your certain outs or your certain cards that you need to gain exactly what you need to make, a decent hand again. As you guys can see, I started off with 2 Maxis, a Wamuko, a Foolish Burial, and now I actually have a very sizable hand, had not Maxi keep activating so I can go off. And that's another great thing about this deck, is that in some game states when your opponent maxes you don't necessarily have to go off, so it's like, perfect. And then you can maxi your opponent when they decide to go off. This is like the 4th Infernoid Burning Abyss deck I've seen today, and I'm nothing against her. I actually like seeing it because, hey, it's an interesting deck. But unfortunately, he has to go off under the Maxi, granting me all of the advantage I need. It's literally nuts. That's a hand. I'm going to start off with Magical Adapter, Pendulum Call. I could have activated the Magician, and it would have been destroyed immediately, and then gave Abductor another counter, but we're not going to do that. We're going to, Sky Iris, the Eccentric Archfiend, and yeah, now we're on a roll. That's a lot of stuff you got going on there. The effect of Magical Adapter is going to add me to the Luster Pendulum Draco Slayer, literally the best Pendulum card of all time. Nah, it's probably not the best of all time, but it's definitely up there. The card's amazing. And then I'm going to go ahead and Pendulum Summon for 4, which, when you pin summon for 4 in this deck, you're probably winning, or you're probably going to win. I'm going to go ahead and make the Ignister effect. Bye-bye, Magical Adapter. I really don't need you anymore, but I do need to get over that Dante and don't want him to gain any great effects. Activating Barbar to inflict 300 damage isn't that bad, but then again, it doesn't necessarily help you in the situation you are. Shout out to Alcall for noticing that the Cali Effect does play on, YGOPRO and stuff. And the only reason, like literally, as soon as I start praising the dawn of a new era, I can't even log on. It's like, oh, well, something about me not being able to log on or some crap. So I'm like, oh, looks like I gotta go back to YGOPRO, which isn't necessarily a bad system either. As you guys can see, I play on both of them. I probably spend most of the time on the dawn of the new era when I can't get on, but like I said, when I can get on and when updates are frequent, then it is what it is. I'm going to be playing against Cast Knight, and he's playing the deck that I played last week. Awesome! He's going to summon Vanishing Lanius and then make that, and I'm going to maxi him, and that's all good, because, I like that free +2. That's good. That's good. We're going to start off with the Magical Adapter, and this is just to show how nutty this deck can get. Normally, when your opponent stops your plays or hinders you from making plays, this deck can't make it. But I'm going to activate, Archfiend Eccentric, which is not a bad scale. It's a 7 scale. But the fact that I can't summon any of my 7 monsters really puts me in a, in a pretty bad spot. Magic Spectre Raccoon Pabanku is going to come to the rescue, and I'm going to show you why this is so needed for this deck. Because Kieran is the most broken card in this deck, hands down. Kieran is going to allow me to out his Ultimate Falcon, even though it can't be destroyed in battle, and add the Mamuku back to my hand, which will in turn search for another Kieran. And now I have 2 monsters that can interrupt on my opponent's turn, as well as, another level 6 in case I want to go into any rate 6. He's going to normal summon Booster Strix, then he's going to activate the effect of Fuzzy Lanius, and I'm just going to go ahead and bounce, one of them so he can't Exceed summon. Keep in mind, I still have the 2nd Kieran to prevent him from Exceed summoning again, so it doesn't really help that much. We're going to go ahead and activate Sky Iris. He's going to ask me I'm out of real, Cali Effect. Yeah, you can catch the real Cali Effect sometimes. Sky Iris is going to destroy a card, or I'm sorry, how did I get that to the hand? I don't even know how it happened. We ain't even going to say how that happened. But I'm going to activate the Unicorn, bounces on the card, and then we're going to Pendulum Summon. Oh, I'm sorry, obviously Magical Abductor out of it. That makes sense. And like I said, that's a lot of monsters anytime you pin someone for 4. It's going to be, you know, pretty good. If you guys want to see this deck profile, come on, give me at least 100 likes, though. I know I'm asking for a bit, but let's get to 100 likes. I haven't seen a video with 100 likes in a long time, and it would be awesome if you guys came to Cali Effect and 100 likes for a deck that I know you guys have been wanting to see for a very long time. This game, I'm going to show you why you run the Performer Pals. Literally, I'm going to go ahead and activate the Unicorn, and then since I have 3 counters, I'm going to activate Magical Abductor. We're going to normal summon the Bambuko. Bambuko's going to summon, or I'm sorry, it's going to place Kieran into our hands, and now we're going to Pendulum Summon for 3. Oh, God. Now, so I have 2 Kirans, and I'm going to use the Bambuko and the Odd Eyes Moth Light Phoenix to make Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon. For people that don't know what Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon, it's probably one of the more game-breaking cards that this deck has in its disposal. I can return a card from my deck to my extra deck, which is not even really a cost, to negate the activation of a spell, trap, or monster effect. This 3,000 defense is pretty hard to get over, and now coupled with the fact that I have 2 Kirans that can interact on my opponent's turn, it's pretty bad for the opponent. The reason why you play the Odd Eyes or the Pepe cards is because they're searchable through Monkey Board, and they're also Odd Eyes cards allows you to use for Odd Eyes Fusion other than Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. That's why they are so awesome. And more often than not, their targets for Sky Iris and searchable scales, one being a low scale, the other one being high scale. Works pretty well. I actually do have this deck for sale. If you guys are interested, all you have to do is go down below in the Google documents, check that out, and you guys are hooked up with an Odd Eyes Pepe, or I'm sorry, yeah, an Odd Eyes Magician deck or with an Odd Eyes Magician deck, and I promise you most of it is actually used in my deck profile. Don't tell anybody because it's obviously the base. This game, I'm going to show you why Mist Valley Apex Avion is so important to this, as well as why I still main the Notoria Beastlock. So, if you guys didn't know, the Notoria Beastlock involves Glow Up Bulb and Dragon Pit Magician. Dragon Pit Magician isn't seen that good anymore, or Dragon Pulse Magician. Dragon Pulse Magician isn't really seen that good, but it's an Earth monster and it's searchable, so it's like, whatever. Against Monarchs, Notoria Beast probably wins me the game. So I figured if I can main a Glow Bulb, and, you know, in the Dragon Pulse Magician, which I don't think is that terrible, then hey, you know, I'm in business. And plus the Glow Bulb can, you know, synchro summon with my level 7 monsters that I do run to make some really good level wins. So I didn't feel that I was going completely out. Against this opponent, he summons Guardian Atos, so he's playing Iatos with Dolces. That's not really nice. He's going to get over my board, and then I'm going to lose my second board to Solemn Judgment. That's another one of the cards that do hit in his deck, but don't worry, we really don't worry about it too much. As you guys can see, smartly, I didn't Pendulum Summon my whole hand, because then I probably would have been picking up sticks. The most important about it, the reason why you should buy this deck is because, like, it's still good. I mean, I don't understand how this deck really got nerfed with Insight Magician to 1, and then it's still this good to this level. If you guys have seen, I have not summoned a single Insight Magician, or activated or resolved its effect. So that just goes to show that the deck is still pretty good without the use of Insight Magician, and it allows you to still play Yu-Gi-Oh! And summon cards like Mist Valley, Apex Avion, Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon, and so on and so forth that allow you to dominate the game. You know, we didn't really do a good job at killing this deck off, if that's what they were trying to do. Here's actually where I felt I could have made a better move. I could have tributed the Dragon Pulse to normal summon the Magispector Kieran, could have activated the Kieran effect to target itself to bounce his monster, and then Pendulum summon both of my monsters back to the field. That would have been enough for game, but you know, Cali Effect normally doesn't think when he's on the video, he only thinks in person, so I don't really know what to tell him. It's going to leave my opponent with 900 life points. I'm very fortunate that I have Kieran to interact with my opponent on his turn, and Mist Valley Apex Avion negating activation, so I'm not 100% sure if there's really much he can do at this current time anyways. I'm going to bounce the Dragon Pulse to stop his Angeli play. Well, why? Because I want his Angeli play for now. Pendulum Call is going to add me 2 more Magicians, and this game is just about sealed. Thank you guys so much for watching another segment of the Cali Effect. If you guys want to purchase this deck, I only have one, so check the Google documents. It might be the best deck of your life. I really love this deck. Let's get 100 likes for the deck profile. Thank you guys once again for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, but most of all, enjoy.